3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Hello. Does it feel dark? It looks dark.
It doesn't feel dark to me. Does anybody think it looks dark?
Maybe it's the screen. Your screen is not light.
Oh, that might be the issue.
There we go. All right, boom. There it is. Good afternoon, people, family.
I know it's probably too late because in the East Coast.
Oh yeah, the sun pretty much has set.
Sun is set, so people like, yo, bump that. We ain't watching this. We gonna watch TV.
That's true.
So that means we don't have to stay on for a full hour or over an hour.
Right.
Short today, to the point.
Right. What up, Renee? You made it early. Whoop,
Oh,
whoop, whoop.
snap. She made it early because we were late.
We were on like what, 2:30?
Yeah,
which is
2:30
like
Central Time, which is, yeah.
What up, Stephanie?
Yo, shout out to Stephanie Hewlett. Yo, let me tell you, those were my first friends at Andrews University.
Oh, I remember Stephanie.
Stephanie brought me they invited me to their house and fed me. Their kids were tiny now. They got adults now.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, Dorian Stewart.
What up, family?
Yo, what's good?
Oh man, so good to have you guys joining us this afternoon. I feel like evening in the East Coast.
On the East
right?
Coast,
But it's straight nighttime there, probably.
In Texas, it's straight bright out here. It's hot. Is it hot? It's cool.
I don't know. I haven't been out
It's
at
like
all.
65 degrees, but it's bright as day out here right now. So.
Yeah, it really is. Dorian says 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. Shout out
to consistency.
Facts.
Shout out to consistency, my guys.
Consistency is important in
even
life.
though we're on here a little bit later than usual, we're here. We're definitely here.
YKTV. You know the vibes.
Okay, cool.
YKTV.
I'm like, what does that mean? But thank you for clarifying that. How was your week? How was your week?
My week was good. My week was pretty, what would I say? It was pretty busy. Had a lot of meetings. This is probably the most meetings I've ever had pastoring, but they were productive. They were good and they were fruitful. I would say that.
Amen.
So
good.
yeah,
that's good to know.
Yep.
Being productive and fruitful is the name of the game, right?
Name of the game.
That's where it's at right there.
Don't go to no meeting unless it ain't gonna be productive or fruitful. Otherwise, we are just wasting each other's time. You're wasting my time if I ain't getting nothing from this.
It's true. What up, David?
Who that? David? Oh,
shout out to David.
David. Yeah. What up, David?
Why you hating on David?
I gave him a horn. David always throwing shots at me.
Oh.
David always throwing shots.
Is that a love? Is that a love, right, David?
In a few minutes, he about to throw a shot at me.
David loves you. That's what it is. It's all about love and, yeah.
It's all good, though. It's all good.
But this week, so last week, hi, Sister Morgan. Yeah, the mommy game is always busy. You are right about that. So talking about mommy game and being a mommy and being a parent, period.
Yo.
So this week, last week, Miss Amber, her school called us, told us that we had to go pick her up because she was sick. So we're not sure what's happening because when she left the house, she wasn't complaining. She wasn't saying anything about her being sick. So we picked her up. And for me, Jamie probably wouldn't. He's a little bit more, I don't know what he is. But for me, I'm just like, if she's coughing, if she's presenting any symptoms like COVID, I'm taking her to the urgent care and I'm getting her tested. Because I do not like that not being in the know, right? I hate that feeling.
Yeah,
So
if it's just a cough, Carlene is taking them or she's going. I'm like, let's wait it out. Let's see what it's really saying. Let's if it gets worse, then we go. But if it's just staying the same or it's what it is, then let's chill. Let's monitor it.
yeah,
Carlene be like, yo, immediately I'm calling the appointment. I'm going down to urgent care. Me, I'm like, all right.
yeah, he's usually like, you don't have to take her. Like as he said, when they start coughing, because they're in school, they're around kids. Like if they were like last year and they were just at home, I think I would be like whatever. But I feel like because they're in school and they're interacting with kids and now like in Texas in the ISD, basically like if kids get COVID, like for real, they can just show up.
That's true.
You know, they can just be like, well, they're non-symptomatic. I'm sure there are kids walking around schools that are COVID positive, but they're non-symptomatic or whatever. So I'm not playing. I'm asymptomatic. What did I say before?
Non-symptomatic.
My bad. Asymptomatic. And so I was just like, I'm not taking those chances. I'm just gonna go ahead to the urgent care and just rule it out, right? At least I know. And so last week Friday, I took her, and Jamie was like, "Don't take her. Don't. She's okay." And I'm just like, "Oh no, I'm gonna go take her." So he's like, now I feel like Jamie now is like, you know what? Do whatever you need to do, right? Because he knows that I won't be able to rest.
Right.
And I'll be walking around in the house with a mask, or she's walking around with a mask, and I don't want to do that. So anyway.
You got supporters on here. Everybody.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm
what's up.
Carlene.
Supporters.
All the mommies.
Yes. So took her to the urgent care, and I was like, check her for everything. I said, we testing her for everything. COVID, influenza, and strep. Check her for all of them, right? So she unfortunately has taken a COVID test before, and she doesn't like it. No one likes it. So she it was rough because she was running a fever. That's what made me feel like, yo, something ain't right. So she was running a fever, and she had a tummy ache, and I could see she's lethargic. She just doesn't feel well. So she's crying on me in the doctor's office. She doesn't want to do the COVID test. So the nurse was so great. She had her put the thing up her nose and told just a little bit far, whatever. So, so we're waiting. I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, please don't let it be COVID. Please don't let it be COVID. Please don't let it be COVID. So she comes back and she's just like, influenza is negative. She doesn't have the flu and she does not have COVID, but she does have strep. And I'm just like, praise the Lord. I was like, thank you, Jesus. In comparison, right? I prefer strep. If I had a choice, I prefer strep than COVID.
And so, I'm like, I know she didn't have COVID.
Right, of course. He's always like, I know she didn't have it. And which is good, right? I think the balance is great because for me, I would have that test, that home test in my house, and I would be testing everybody every single week. But, you know, I'm really trying, right? I'm really trying to balance and put, I don't know what, to try to find a balance. But anyway.
I'm the one that takes the time. Like, you're not bleeding, you ain't leaking, you can still walk around. Yeah. Right.
Oh my gosh. Listen, straight. Guys, listen.
You'll be straight.
Listen to me. Thank God for I'm a germaphobe, because I feel like if I wasn't and I was as like, you know, Jamie's just like, whatever, she's fine, they're fine, I'm fine, whatever. And so she had strep, got her antibiotics, she's doing really well, thank God. But then that was Friday, Saturday, Amber sneezed in my area. Like sneezed in my area where I was, right? And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, did you just sneeze? Like, I got up, and they know I don't like when they sneeze on me. I don't like drinking waters from them. Like, they know that mommy is just like,
I drink all they water. We
chill,
play.
son.
We do everything.
Now me, I'm just like, move back, stand back.
But look what
They're
happens.
coughing.
Go ahead.
It's not nice. It's not very nice.
Go ahead and tell the people. Tell the people what happened.
So, right. So she sneezed on me, and she sneezed on my phone. So I'm just like, all right, bet. Whatever. You know, I drink my little concoction and taking my vitamins just to make sure. So what was it? Monday, we were at gymnastics, and I was talking to my brother, and I was like, my throat feels super dry. Like, I was like, why does my throat feel so dry? So I started drinking water, and I'm just like, oh, it's still, that feeling's not going away. I came home, started feeling weird, right? And so that was Monday night. Tuesday morning, I'm not playing games. I was like, I'm going to the urgent care, and I'm getting tested for
Like you don't have
everything.
COVID.
I'm getting tested for everything. So got tested, and they're like, you have strep. Like, I've never had strep before. The girls have had, Amber has had strep, what? This is her third time having strep.
Yeah, third time with
Caitlin
strep.
probably had it once. But of all the times they were younger,
But daddy,
you better don't say nothing yet, because you mind yourself. Mind yourself. I'm praying that you don't have it.
Byron, what up, Byron?
So anyway, so Tuesday I find out I have strep, and so I've been on antibiotics. I've been whatever, but then it just feels, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's allergies or I don't know what it is, but I feel like I have congestion. What else am I feeling? No fever or anything like that. Just congestion. I'm just like, yo, I don't feel good. So I'm feeling a lot better today. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have come on, clearly. But I'm feeling a lot better today. But
I think this stuff makes you feel better.
what stuff?
Coming on and
Yeah, coming outside of the
Right.
sickness, feeling sick and being sick.
Strep is highly contagious, especially when the infected person.
See?
Oh,
When they start to feel better,
All right,
that's
so
when you start to get sick.
You need to start sleeping in the other room
Really?
because I don't want to catch no strep.
Really? This dude be playing and ramping with Caitlin. I said ramping like a West Indian. Playing and jumping, and Amber is all in his face. And so, I mean, you didn't catch it from her yet.
Nope.
And she's almost at the end of it. So
That's because I'm covered by the blood.
Oh, Jesus. So, yeah, he's covered by the blood. Apparently, I'm not either.
You got, it's like, Geico insurance and you got the general.
Yo, I can't stand you. You're just terrible. What is that?
That's kind of coverage you got. You got the general.
So essentially, so I'm at the midpoint of my getting the antibiotics, but I did antibiotics. But I know the doctor did say that 24 hours after receiving like a full dose of antibiotics, that you are not as highly contagious. What happened? What did you just put up there? I hope you didn't kiss her.
No kissy face.
You know he did.
No kissy face. Oh man, they saying it's too late. Mickey said, not the general.
My brother, it's too late. Back in the day, Patrick and I used to pass our codes back and forth.
I think that used to happen with us, right?
Yes. And I always tell Jamie, I'm like, don't touch me, don't look at me. But does he listen? He don't listen.
That's
so I told him, I said, if you get sick, you get sick. That's on you.
Covered by the blood.
But I told you, I warned you that you don't touch me. But he wants to touch anyway. But anyway, what up, Arlie? What up, Linda? She says, be sure to finish the entire course of antibiotics. Strep is like that X that keeps coming back. Yes, I'm making sure that I am taking all 10 doses. 10 days, not 10 doses, 10 days. I think I have 20 doses in all because it's day and one in the daytime, one in the night. So.
Hot lemon juice, lemon honey. That's the what's that thing called? They call it out here? Toddy body, hottie toddy.
Hottie toddy.
Is that hottie toddy?
Something like a boiled distilled mix, water mix and drink all day, every day. Trust.
What's the hot toddy, toddy hottie? What do you call it?
Hot toddy.
Hot toddy. What's in hot toddy?
I don't know. I think it's lemon juice. I don't know.
We know it got lemon and honey in it. Do we have ginger?
Maybe ginger.
Garlic?
Probably not garlic.
It's everything that make you stink.
So I don't know about y'all, but when I'm sick or I'm getting sick, like I eat a lot of garlic.
You become the garlic.
So like I would eat like a whole garlic, like a whole what is it called? A whole hot toddy has bourbon. Oh,
Oh,
where's the vegan one?
they didn't give us that.
This is the
They didn't give us that recipe.
oh, it has bourbon for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
well,
didn't know
I heard that bourbon burns that thing out.
Clears you up.
Good to know. Good to know. Drink some bush tea. What up, Ronald?
Oh.
Some bush tea.
Oh, oregano oil. Yo, that
Yes.
oregano.
So oregano oil,
So
I drink.
I never knew that there was a difference between oil of oregano and oregano oil.
So I take the oregano oil every day. I do not take it like in water or anything like that. I take it in a capsule because that joint will burn the mess out of your lips. It feels like your mouth is on fire. So I do not even attempt. So I definitely do the whatchamacallit, the capsules.
Drink some bush tea. Yo, y'all remember Buckley's? Who out there remember Buckley's?
Buckley's was, you know what it was? What's that thing? The thing that people clean with.
Ammonia?
That joint smelled like ammonia.
Yo, let me tell you, 1 tablespoon of Buckley's.
Yeah, that joint will take everything that you ever had nasty inside your
soul will be delivered.
Yo, Buckley's.
Yo.
Oh my gosh, Buckley's. But they discontinued it. If this is what you look like when you're sick, Carlene, what hope is there for the rest of us? Girl, please. Oh my gosh. Ray and nephew will what?
Destroy everything.
What is Ray and nephew? I don't know about that one.
I don't know. According to my grandmother, bush tea
heals
even,
everything.
That's
even
right.
A broken
That's
foot.
West Indian.
Give you tea for anything.
Mommy, I bust my head. Drink some tea.
Like it's the healer
They
of
got
all things.
Tea for everything.
But I kind of feel like bush tea that thing is a miracle worker though.
Bush tea? What? First of all, let's define what is bush tea.
There's a whole bunch of bush in the tea. So like
this bush only grows in the West Indies?
No, it's a combination of bush. I forgot. I don't know what exactly is in bush tea.
Oh.
Yo, all the West Indians in there.
Ray and nephew is rum. So you don't know nothing about. You don't know nothing about
okay,
that,
Migs, Pastor Ray.
You don't know about that life.
He knows nothing about Ray and nephew.
But I do need somebody to define.
What is bush tea?
What is bush tea? And does this bush only grow in the Caribbean?
No, it doesn't. Maybe it does. I think it does. I don't know.
What is this bush called? Bush? They call it bush?
No, it's like I don't even know what's inside of it. So Ray and nephew is a Jamaican white rum. We'll have COVID running.
Mercy.
Yo, I don't want no parts of that joint. I'm sure that thing burns.
Yeah, I put that in black cake.
Fever grass, lemongrass. Okay.
Fever grass, also known as lemongrass.
Yeah, lemongrass tea is good.
Yeah, we want to know what your concoctions are. What do y'all take when y'all catch a cold or to prevent you from catching a cold? Somebody still needs to define bush tea.
He just did.
Where? Bush tea?
He said fever grass.
Okay, aka lemongrass. Bush tea is different depending on your island.
Bush tea is any bush you can find to make tea.
That
is bush tea. I remember from Antigua. Oh.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No, okay. Linda, we don't know what Ray and nephew is.
We all know what Ray and nephew.
I don't know who Ray is. I don't know why Ray spells his first name with a W.
And why is it a nephew?
Right. And who's his nephew?
But for real, that's what like if I go to the Jamaican store, I'll say, can I have some Ray and nephew? Or is that like a slang or a tag name for rum?
Ray and nephew.
Help us out.
Get some Ray and nephew.
So crushed garlic with honey is my go-to.
Gary says Jamaicans use Ray and nephew for everything. Okay. Nice. So I'm gonna know.
Tiffany says lemon, onion, garlic, turmeric, cayenne pepper, lickle honey, boil and drink.
Man, that
Well,
thing.
I don't even boil mine. What I do is grate the garlic. What is it? Garlic, ginger. I
Garlic,
use turmeric
ginger,
powder, the cayenne,
lemon,
the lemon,
a little
honey, the
I
cayenne pepper.
I be like, yo, can you put a pineapple in there, please?
Yeah, he always talks about pineapple, but I know pineapple has really good healing
I'm like,
properties too.
does that thing have to smell nasty?
Yeah, it does stink,
and
but that
taste
joint
nasty?
is a lifesaver.
Can you put one pineapple in there for a brother?
I heard apple cider vinegar
It's
as
the
well
truth.
is really good. As a matter of fact, I just bought some, so.
Yo, shout out to apple cider
Oh my
vinegar.
God. She said Ray and nephew is a step below jet fuel. I'm done. Yo, why are people drinking it then? I learned this on the Wakanda Fellowship. I think I just saw Saba in here.
was on here.
Saba.
Saba, you out here telling people drink Ray and Nephew?
Ray and nephew is the company name. Okay. When I was little, I could hear it. When I was little, they would soak you in rye. Wait a minute. Ray and nephew, lime bay rum,
and
hot water. What?
Man,
I remember being soaked in bush tea or in some bush. My
grew up-
grandmother would literally fill the tub with hot water and this bush that she collect from wherever and soak us in there.
Yo,
Oh my
the
gosh.
only bush tea that we have in America is called marijuana.
Ronald. She says Ray. He says Ray spells his first name, or Rye. Sorry, Rye spells his first name with a W the same way Jamaican put an H in front of
Apple.
and take out the H away when they say house.
Hadaman he's.
So what he's saying is what?
He say it's just a bit of humor.
Oh gosh, Ronald.
Ray. That's what I was thinking. Ray.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Who knew so many West Indians SDA swear by Ray and nephew?
Yo, Ray and Nephew is the jump
Yo,
off.
they be
Oh, we have a definition of
Hi,
bush
Sister
tea.
Archibald. Okay, go ahead.
Bush tea is made from natural medicinal herbs. The
Herbs.
roots, stem, leaves, and flowers of some plants are also used to make bush tea.
Okay.
Caribbean people commonly use this type of tea to treat ailments and diseases. Guava and orange leaf tea are used to treat diarrhea and vomiting.
Oh wow.
Yo,
I love me some guava though.
Shout out to the Caribbean people. Shout out to the natural medicines, the natural remedies that we were able to discover and to find because we could not afford to go to the doctor, that we did not have health care, but we lived off of the earth and we were able to heal ourselves. Shout out to that. That's what's up.
Horns to
that.
And what's crazy is even when my grandmother came to this country,
she didn't want no
and
Tylenol.
She got sick.
She ain't go to no doctor.
Hospital doctor.
She
it was like
some bush on East New York.
Yo, my grandmother, before she went into the hospital and later died, like she was sitting at home making mad concoctions, right? She was just like mixing this, mixing that, hoping and praying that it would literally take away the sickness. She went into the hospital. Say for instance, she went into the hospital today. 2 weeks later, she died.
Mercy.
Right? So it's like the I know that, West Indians or black people don't trust doctors, but I feel like there should be a point where you use those natural remedies for a certain point. And then after that point, you'd be like, yo, it's not working.
But the other thing, too, is the bush in America ain't the same bush
That's
in the Caribbean.
true. That's true.
She probably thought, like, yo,
I might need to do this.
This bush on Linden Boulevard is the one that was in the backyard, but it's totally different, right?
Yes.
So it didn't have the same potency as the bush.
No, but they be getting it from the Caribbean.
Where they go, farm country? And
no, like, how, send some bush tea for me. Like, there's always a package. They're always sending for a package or getting a package from Guyana or wherever. So I feel like it's from there. It's just, It's rough. My monster-in-law drink Ray and nephew straight with a block of ice every morning and every night. What? That's what I was gonna say something else. Oh my gosh, I was about to say something.
Effort outlive us.
Yo, Arlene, yo, I was about to say something. Thank God I caught myself.
When I'm sick, I take a disgusting mixture when I find. So I guess the reality is this: is that when we're sick, we have to drink something disgusting.
Yes, it is. It is.
It is a proof. There ain't nothing gonna taste good when you're sick.
No, it's Elder Ray
And Deacon Nephew.
Ryan, nephew, and SD justification for liquor. It's true.
Oh, Elder Ray and his nephew come to church.
All my Brooklyn people, it's of all, it's of all our hospitals. Yo, the worst of them was Brookdale.
Yo.
Or they used to call it was Brookdale and Kings County was
County.
called Killer County.
Yeah, Killer. They knew like if you
Oh
you get driven to Kings County, you about to die.
It says let's just call
Brookdale
it what
was
it is.
Crookdale.
Yeah, yo. Brookdale was like, yo, I lived in East New York. If you, God forbid, something happened, you'd be like, yo, please don't take me to Brookdale. Take me to what's the one downtown Brooklyn?
Not downstate.
Not downstate. What's that one downtown? It was it's a really good hospital. Dang. What's
Sinai?
that?
It's not Mount Sinai.
I think it's Mount Sinai.
Isn't Sinai in Manhattan? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just know like if you got shot mad times and you saw the ambulance was on Rockaway Parkway, you'd be like, no. Go a little further. Go downtown Brooklyn.
Look at Ronald. Yo, he's like, here's a real question. Where can we sip from that fountain of youth where you and Jamie been drinking from? Y'all out here looking like high school students. Okay.
Bruh, it's called filters.
We do not have a filter on.
The filter from the camera just makes everything just look nicer and younger.
Why can't it just look like we are looking youthful? Like we're aging well.
All right. Shout out to the Bush Tea for making us look young.
Oh my gosh. Byron says, I'm American, but I swear my parents were Korean when we got sick. Yo, it's like, okay. Vicks Vapor Rub with J. Rye.
Why you keep saying Rye?
Ray.
It's Ray.
And nephew, bath and a little, there's some minty, doctor's orders. Yo, back in the day, my grandmother used to give us Vicks to eat.
That's child abuse.
Yo, we used to eat the Vicks Vapor Rub.
That is child abuse.
It's not child abuse. This was in Guyana. She ain't no better. That's what we used. That's what she gave us, y'all.
Let me say this. Child abuse does not have a location. Like it doesn't. Child abuse doesn't change no matter the country you're in. Child abuse is child abuse.
Listen, no, because I'm sure a lot of the things like lashes and licks in school, the teacher giving you licks and lashes, that's like your corporal punishment. But nobody ain't saying nothing, so you gonna have to be okay with that. But I'm just saying that's what my grandmother did.
You eat Vicks.
Yeah, yo. So when we came to America and people were putting it on themselves, I was just like, why y'all putting it? Why I'm not eating it?
You better go get a spoon. Why you putting your hand in that? Go get a tablespoon. We eat that over here.
Love you, Granny. Sister Jackson says in the series called Number One Ladies Detective Agency, which was filmed in Botswana.
Yeah, with Jill Scott.
But she was served almost hourly as a social custom. Caribbean people may have different kinds of bush flora, but I think the concepts come from Africa.
Of course, it comes from Africa.
Everything comes from Africa.
The motherland.
Real talk. Methodist, that's what it is.
Yeah. Killer Kings County.
Killer County. I'm sure it's not like that anymore. Aloe tea was a go-to in my house.
I heard about the aloe. The aloe has many healing properties to it.
Yes. Thank you, Erwin. What up, Erwin and Janelle?
Yeah, I knew it started with an M. Mount Sinai's in Mount Sinai, that real nice hospital in Manhattan.
Yeah, Slippery M. I heard about that. I heard about the Slippery M, but it sounds nasty.
It sounds slippery.
That joint sounds mad nasty. Fine Carlene looks awesome. Filter for Jamie. I like that joke. Yes, Vicks porn? Edibles. Look, I'm not the only one. Child abuse doesn't have a location. Put that on a t-shirt. Yo, Trevor, what up, son? It's good to have you back.
They have, wait a minute, they have Vicks edibles?
I'm telling you, yo, if you on here,
Yo,
have you ever
Cheryl Smith said that is just a black thing. Had to eat Vicks.
see? I thought we were the only one.
You were probably the only one that walked in people's house and started putting it on their skin, and you
No,
probably
like my mom. When we came to America, like my mom didn't let us eat it anymore. Granny was like, "Yo,
Child
y'all
abuse-
gonna eat that joint,"
Child abuse
but
has
mom
a
was
zip
like,
code.
"My mom didn't let us eat it for sure." But it was
Yo,
what it is.
that's nuts, man. I've never imagined eating. What is it supposed to do? Like, take the phlegm out your stomach?
No, Vicks Real Talk is what? What is Vicks? Peppermint. What other stuff is there?
Petroleum jelly. Gary said Vicks fix everything. For real, yo.
Yo,
Yo,
Vicks is another. It's
I
like
ain't
tea.
gonna front. I ain't gonna front. When the girls are sick, you take that Vicks, you rub it on the bottom of their foot.
Put some socks
And
on.
you put some socks on, that cough is gone.
Vicks is great. Matter of fact, I'm gonna rub myself down with some Vicks. Can you rub me some Vicks tonight, please? Thanks.
That is not very sexy, but okay.
You know it is.
You want a Vicks massage?
Hey, that's not a bad thing.
Hey, Vicks fix everything in the.
But that joint, you can't put too much Vicks in your nose because that joint burns.
That joint is petroleum jelly, like he said. You can fix your brakes with that.
Oh, it says, Chi said Vicks is a spicy Vaseline.
It is.
Andrea
Vaseline
says,
fix everything too.
integrative medicine is
Man, I used to put Vaseline in my hair.
Vicks on the bottom of your feet with socks on. Yep, it will definitely kill a cough.
Yo,
That's like
it's the truth.
It's the truth, yo. It's the truth. See, Vicks can be sexy.
Look. Somebody said rub down. That's West Indian. Rub down.
Yo, I'm all for the rub down, y'all. I'm all for the rub down. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I've heard people cut onions.
No, the onion stuff does work. Yeah. Your house just gonna be hella stink.
Yeah, we've done the onions. I think we've done the onions like outside, like sitting on the table.
Yeah, we cut the onions. I think it only lasted like 3 hours.
Yeah,
like,
Jake was like,
that joint.
No, that joint got.
But it works
But
though.
it works.
If you are coughing or you're stuffy, cut an onion and put it by your nightstand. It will.
It's supposed to like suck up the impurities.
Yeah, it absorbs all of the impurities, but it's stunk.
I don't know, but I'm sure there are lots of different remedies that everyone has, over a period of, from their childhood to adulthood that they use that just does the trick. But I'm hoping that I shake whatever this is off because it is for the birds, basically. What happened, Golda? Golda just come on here like,
know, right?
No, it doesn't. Stop it.
Golda, it's delayed, so we need to know what your no, it doesn't.
For real, yo. What are you talking about, Gold? Some people put the onions on the bottom. Yep. Golda
is saying leave the onions alone.
It doesn't. She say it doesn't.
It doesn't. They don't suck up impurities from the air. All right.
What
do they do?
Yeah, tell us. Teach us.
I know it stink up. Matter of fact, it puts impurities in the air.
Yes, Linda. You must sleep after the rub down. No foolishness.
See, I can go with Golda because Golda is a registered nurse. Shout out to Golda. Look here. What did we did the onion thing, right?
We did, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, we don't. I don't know if it worked.
All right, too far, Golda. Ain't nobody done
it. Eat the onions to get the antibacterial benefit. Okay. Yo, so there's something called penicillin, right? Nature's penicillin. So nature's penicillin is what we used to use. What I used to use. No, I haven't made it in a while. But nature's penicillin is onions, white onion, garlic, ginger, the whole orange. I think it's 2 oranges, lemons, or it's 1 orange, like 2 or 3 lemons, peppermint oil. And they recommended that you do it with the skin and everything. So you blend that all up and then of course some honey. You blend it all up, and you're supposed to do, I think, for children it's a half a cup a day, and for adults it's a cup a day.
And then
But that joint is nasty.
it's nasty. That's why I'd be like, put the pineapple in it.
Because it's orange, it's the peel of the orange, the peel of the lemons. But that thing is a miracle worker too.
It is a miracle worker, but it's nasty.
But it's nasty.
Yo, let me just go to CVS and buy some Theraflu, and I'll be all right.
She said make some potassium broth when you're sick and can't get anything down because you have a cough. Lots of potassium broth.
How you make that? With bananas?
I never heard of a potassium.
Boil some bananas?
Nature's penicillin will have you repenting of all your sins.
For
Yo,
real.
that joint. But guess who takes it like a champ?
Amber.
Our children.
They be like, can we get
Since they were like what, 2? I was giving it to them, 2, 3. Man, they'll eat that thing like it's candy.
They just take a spoon.
Yeah.
With certain veggies.
Someone says nature's penicillin is the devil. It really is.
I be like, put a pineapple in it.
Someone taught me.
That's the problem. We think that if we put a pineapple in it, because if it tastes good, it's not going to be healthy or it's not going to help. Nasty stuff can taste good and still help. It doesn't have to be nasty.
I feel like the nastier. Think about Buckley's. Think about all those over-the-counter medicine.
Your mind has been conditioned and trained
No,
to
if
think
it tastes
that,
good, that joint ain't working.
Yeah,
So I don't
pineapple.
like taking medicine at all. Like I remember when we first got married and taking Buckley's. Yo, real talk.
When we first got married, you didn't even know how to swallow a pill.
Yeah, I don't like swallowing pills. Like it just feels like the big ones, not the small ones. The big, we call it cow pills. Horse pills. That joint be stuck in my throat. I be drinking mad water and feel like then I start gagging. But anyway, that was probably too much information. But like medicine, like ask Jamie, like I would sit there with the spoon in my hand and just can't get it down because I hate taking medicine.
Yo, it's just get it down. That's all you gotta do. Once you just put it in your mouth and just get it down.
But you pinch your nose and try to put it down, that joint you still taste it. Ugh.
Nah, I'm good.
So thank God now they have everything in pill form. So NyQuil, DayQuil, all that stuff, I'm taking a pill.
Karila Bush tea, according to Duell.
Yo, what is Karila Bush tea, yo?
You can't say Bush tea. You have to say Bush tea. Bush. Bush.
For real. Yes, I heard about that, Andrea. Combining conventional and alternative medicine is very useful. Yeah, yo. She said conventional medicine helped me greatly when I had...
27. Hydrotherapy, certain herbs to help wean me off those meds. The withdrawal symptoms were HE double hockey
my
stick.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Look here. I'm going to Starbucks and I'm going to order a grande bush tea and I'm going to see what they're going to give me.
They're going to be like, excuse me, sir? Excuse me? Excuse me?
They ask, whose name should I put on this? I'm going to say, Pompey.
And that's when you get thrown out the store because they're going to be like this. And that's like, oh gosh, I'm not even going there with you.
They'll be like, order up for Pompey. Because there's no way you can say the name Pompey without sounding West Indian. Say Pompey American.
Hold on, I have to fix my mouth.
How you say Pompey American?
Pompey.
Pompey.
No. You talking about like a Southerner or you talking about like a New Yorker?
A New Yorker, anybody. Say Pompey.
All right.
Without making it sound West Indian.
All right. Pompey. Or Pompeii. 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 Wait, that make me laugh. Nope. Pompey. Pompeii.
Nope. That name, no matter what.
Pompey.
It's going to always sound like you're a West Indian. Look, if you have trouble having a West Indian, say the West Indian name. Pompey. It don't get more West Indian than Pompey.
Pompey. Would you come here, Pompey? Pompey. See, I can kind of make it sound.
Pompey.
Pompey. That's the only way.
Yep.
Whoever has the name Pompey we already know that joint is that joint is already a West Indian
You
person.
cannot. Yo, can you imagine going to Starbucks and they have to say, Pompey?
Oh
A
gosh.
latte for Pompey, and you sit there for a while. Don't answer. Is there a Pompey?
Oh my gosh.
Yo, that
joint
joint.
will be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Only
gosh.
Starbucks in New York will be able to do it.
yeah.
But Starbucks in the South, man, that joint is
Oh,
so funny, yo.
That joint is hilarious. So it was not our intention to talk about medicine and Pompey and bush tea and all that stuff today. Actually, we wanted to talk about other serious matters.
Sure. Poppy. And you can't say Poppy.
Unless you say Poppy.
You can't say Poppy unless you sound Hispanic. Say
What?
Poppy. Poppy.
Poppy. What up, Poppy?
No, you sound awkward. You guys. Poppy.
Poppy, yo, come here, Poppy.
Order up a Poppy.
Yeah, they're just some names that's just you just can't, like you just can't.
Like Jamal, that's American, right?
Yeah, it's American, but it can go black or white. But we just know it mostly.
Jamal.
Well, that's how West Indians say Jamal.
Jamal,
come here.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Pompey.
sorry. Oh gosh.
I'm gonna record a Pompey.
Oh my gosh.
Thing.
Maybe you should ask somebody that is not West Indian to say it.
Yeah.
And see what it will sound like.
I just know that name always sounds West Indian to me.
Oh my gosh.
Long story short, I had a professor, and he was one of those Jamaicans that didn't like to speak in patois. So he would do everything that he could to have like a British accent. And so one time he was teaching the class, and the name Pompey was in the text, right? Or whatever the book we were reading. And he was like, and Pompey.
His whole thing just went down.
Because like he's always trying to sound British.
Right.
And, like he's very very sophisticated with his leg. He didn't say pray. He didn't say purr. He said prior.
Oh,
it was time for prior, right?
Yeah.
So man said Pompey, and we were dying. I mean, we were cracking up. We were
because he couldn't hold it. He couldn't hold it anymore. Donovan is Jamaican too, yo.
Yeah, Donovan.
Speak spooky. What do they call it?
Jamaican talking proper is called stush. Yes,
stush.
It's very stush.
Oh, that's stush. Well, if you don't stop, we all know you know how to talk patois and turn up like talk like whatever.
Yeah,
being all sophisticated, but I'm not gonna hate. That's what they want.
That's what you do. But that's it. Do you, player?
All right, can we move on?
We can't. It's an hour.
What?
Well, we
spent like 45 minutes talking about.
But I think this was
sickness. No, we had a specific topic.
I think this was very informative, though. We were talking about.
Oh, it was informative for you?
Yeah. Jamaicans call COVID the COVID.
Oh my gosh.
The COVID.
I feel like West Indians have names for everything.
Yes, I like when West Indians try to sound American. That is the best thing to me. They be like, "Yo, kid, yo," you know what I'm saying, yo.
Oh my gosh, that's like your cousins coming from wherever they come from, and then they start trying to talk like,
saying? Yo, I was trying to be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? That joy be so funny to me when they try to sound like super American or super hood. That's great. Mm-hmm. All right, so what are we talking about?
He kind of got the hint. You making the couch shake, making me feel like I'm shaking.
I'm always shaking.
Okay.
I have restless leg syndrome.
Okay. So we wanted, first of all right, we had plans for today's conversation, but we wanted to do like a recap of what we talked about last week, but maybe we'll do a recap of that next week. And if you guys can go ahead and tell us or share with us more ideas about how we can impact community, our churches, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So someone did. Rochelle and Kumba did send me something.
All right, but we don't have to do it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just kind of giving that like a whatever, and then we can move on to the topic at hand.
Cool,
Okay?
cool.
So today we're talking about marriage, right? Because that's what I said. We're talking about marriage. Whew, Jesus. I know we're about to switch it up a little bit. So hopefully we don't lose most of you, but hope you rock with us still. So a few weeks ago, no, last week, as a matter of fact, you're not focused. You're not focused.
I am.
You're not. I could tell when you're not
Yo,
focused.
I'm
Like
here, fam.
I'm talking about
YKTV.
marriage.
YKTV.
I'm talking about marriage, and you're not even focused on what I'm talking
Every
about.
time I pop out, I pop off.
Oh my gosh. Are you good?
Mm.
All right. So Jamie, I feel like I low key snorted, but anyway. So Jamie and I had a conversation about, uh, Jamie and I had a conversation the other day about when in a marriage we had it on IG Live, about showing up as enough in your marriage, and even when your spouse doesn't meet those expectations, that you shouldn't make them feel like they aren't enough, right? Or treat them or say things to them to make them feel like they aren't enough.
Mm-hmm. I had a good illustration for that too, right?
You did. You had a really you don't have to repeat it now though.
I'm trying to
I can
remember
see
it.
I remember it.
Oh.
So yeah, but you don't have to say it now. You can share it a little bit later.
All right.
I know his brain is like,
I'm trying to remember it.
but I got it. It was the car analogy.
Yes.
Okay, great. So Jamie and I have, I think it's been like the past, what do you say, like the past 2 months?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like when we were going through that piece in our marriage, that like
Oh.
moment in our marriage when it was just like,
It was like a day for a year principle.
It wasn't that bad.
It was about a month.
It wasn't a month ago, but it lasted
for about a month.
It lasted for about a month. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to go into specifics or particulars that happened, right? But I do want to talk a little bit about, I guess for me, there were expectations I felt like in our marriage that weren't being met, right? And so I'm very I like to vocalize, I like to verbalize, I like to talk. Communication is key for me. And like I've said before, like when I communicate, I feel like I have to get it all out. Like I can't sit with it overnight. Like some people can sit and let that thing marinate.
I don't like to talk.
Like I can't do that. Like if it's on my mind, I have to get it out right now, because I just feel like if I get it out, I'll be at peace, I'll be rested, I'll feel better. Holding that in for me is like torture.
I can sleep.
He can sleep like a baby.
Move on.
He can literally move on without even talking about it. And I'd be like, yo, what's wrong with you?
Because I've settled it in my mind.
Right. He settled him in his mind. But for me, I don't settle it in my mind. I try to settle it in my mind. And the more I try to settle it is the more I get wound up. It's like I feel like I'm getting more and more hyped, getting more heated. And so because I like to talk through everything, just about everything, most things.
Nothing.
What'd you say? Did you say everything?
I was like yawning.
Yo, let me go back on this thing and rewind it. And I'm
Why
going to
would you
see
do
you
that?
because I know that you said everything.
Nah.
But anyway, so I was going through a moment, right? Moments, let's just say moments.
Plural.
Of whatever. And so I would verbalize what it was that I was thinking, what I was feeling with Jamie. And some of those things weren't very nice. Was it nice?
No, it wasn't nice.
It wasn't nice. It was kind, right? I was being kind. I was like, it wasn't like in a hostile way. But when I was verbalizing it, it was just like, it was like a verbal vomit.
Verbal assault.
Yeah, it was like a verbal vomit.
And I'm like, bro, for real?
Yeah, it was
But
kind of.
I was just like, yo, whatever.
No, you weren't like whatever.
Yeah, I'm a G.
This dude. So anyway, going through all of that, that phase, that period, you're not focused.
I am focused.
You're unfocused. This is distracting me.
I'm just wondering why it's doing that.
Oh, why it's doing what?
what it was doing.
Oh, and so going through that period of time, um, I don't know. I don't know where my mind was, but essentially, a few days ago, maybe about a week or two, I had to apologize to Jamie. I came to Jamie and I apologized to him because I was just like, I'm sorry if I've ever made you feel like you weren't enough. If I ever made you feel like um, you weren't enough, that what you were doing, what you were, how you treat me, and whatever wasn't enough. I apologize. And so,
And I was like, about
not that I
time.
was this Negro. Not that I was questioning. When I say how he was treating me, Jamie, that's not something. I don't think I should have said that. I'm gonna take that out because I don't want anyone to leave here saying that you weren't treating me like I was enough. Does that
Oh,
make sense? Yeah.
facts.
So I just want to clear that up. Make sure I'm very clear about that because I don't want anybody misconstruing my words and making it feel like I was whatever. So anyway, so I came to him and I apologized because I really felt like bad, and so we got to talking even more about, you know, in a marriage, when you're going through hard moments like that, it's easy to kind of make the other person feel, I don't know,
Like they're not enough.
like they're not enough.
Like they're not, yeah, they're not meeting your needs, or they're not adequate enough, or they're just not measuring up
Yeah.
to your expectations.
Yeah. And so,
And expectations in regards, expectations or things that were never there before. So it wasn't like
right.
this was something that was once done and then all of a sudden it's stopped occurring. But it's almost like this is who I've been all the time, right? It's like I haven't I haven't regressed,
Right.
or gotten worse. It's just like I feel like I've maybe plateaued,
Right.
things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so for me, I, like it's really important to, like we talked about it on my live on my page on Instagram, but we talked about how it's important in a marriage that you really respect and accept. I think that's what it is.
Ooh.
Like not expect, accept your
Respect.
spouse as they are, as who they are. Like a lot of times, sometimes looking
because that's who you married.
right. But I think too, because I was even thinking more about this conversation. I said, you know how while you're dating, you may have a boyfriend or a girlfriend doing things, right? Taking you out, buying you flowers, doing this, doing that. Then when you get married, those things stop.
True.
So it's almost like you get to a point where you're just like, so who do I accept? Because I accepted you as this person that was always doing these things before we got married. Now that we're married, it's like these things have stopped. So who do I accept? What do I accept at that point?
You accept the growth of that person.
But how is it growth if it seems as though
You're
no longer
growth.
You're no longer speaking, or you're no longer tending to that need.
It depends on how you look at it. You want to look at it half full, or you want to look at it half empty.
Now I want to look at it as real.
You want to look
You
at
playing
it
games
say,
over here.
You want to look at it and say, this man is growing. He is not wasting or spending money on the things that we used to spend on while we were dating. That's half full, right? That's saying, wow, I admire his frugality. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
No. It's not about being frugal. Like if I'm so accustomed to you doing something, let's say buying flowers, right? Buying flowers every week, right? That's what you're doing. Then all of a sudden we get married. The expectation is for that, what you were doing while we were dating, that it should continue in marriage. And now that it's no longer happening, what do? Right?
Okay, that's when you have a conversation.
Right. you have that conversation, and do you say, all right, if the whoever it is, if the boyfriend is just like, yo, I don't do that no more, that's not what I want to do anymore, do you now accept that is the reality of your marriage? That's something that's a change that you weren't anticipating. So do you accept that piece and just kind of keep moving, or do you keep talking and be like, yo, I want you to buy me flowers, like that's what I like?
Well, I think that in a marriage, I think that you probably want to know why that person stops buying those flowers, and to figure out, it may be a reason, right? Like he may be at that point where he's like, yo, I maybe one time I bought you flowers and I saw you toss it to the side, or I didn't see you, be as excited about the flowers as you used to when we got married. So I took it as maybe you don't want them no more. So I think the conversation, if you two are married for the right reasons in regard to, or married with the knowing and understanding that we talk, we communicate, and we express ourselves and we're comfortable with each other, to be honest with each other, then you can know, like, oh, that's why he stopped buying flowers. And then you can be like, yo, I still like flowers every Friday, or I still like flowers every day. Then he probably pick it back up because maybe something happened in between that triggered the stop or not. I think the issue is when we just go off and just accept things the way they are, accept things that bother us and leave them the way they are without speaking up.
Right, without
Without
communicating.
communicating. Because for all you know, he's probably just like, yo, I bought her flowers last week, and you kind of just like stayed on the phone and just chucked it to the side. Before, you used to like put down the phone, hug me, and all this and that. So I just took it as, maybe you're not longer feeling it.
Yeah, so that's why I guess it goes back to the importance of communication, right? Importance of communicating to your spouse and keeping that open. And as Dorian said, I think it was Dorian that talked about, no, it was Sable that talked about, a lot of times those expectations as a result of, you trying to read my mind, or I'm wanting you to read my mind, right? I want you to know I like to have these flowers. But if you don't say anything verbally and say, hey, I really love this, I really want you to continue this, then that person is just going to assume maybe you don't, as you just said. And so I think a lot of times that's where a lot of issues can come into play, when where the expectation is for you to read my mind. And honestly, none of us are mind readers. So that's why that communication is key when you talk about in marriage.
Because you know what happens when you assume.
Yes.
You make an ass out of you and me.
For sure. People often neglect intentional forms of nonverbal communication. Yes, Chi, it is to be it has to be as intentional as our words. You are right about that. I think it's important for married couples to continue dating after they say I do. That is very important. That is very important.
You have to
kind of keep that.
You have to make time for each other. You have to make time to let whomever you trust watch your children. Go book a hotel in the same city or state if you have to. You have to make time for that. But I think the word Chi used, intentional, is so important. You have to be like whoever you marry, right? And I'm glad that we're talking about this, is that you should always be comfortable with being yourself, right? You should never have to act like somebody else, because eventually that mask will fade off, right? And eventually the real you will come out, and then that person is like, yo, I married an actor. So I think that when you're comfortable with being yourself and comfortable with being that person, then you should be comfortable with expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Without fear of judgment, right? So I think for me, when we first got married, I don't think I was comfortable with expressing myself. I don't think I was, and I didn't know how to, or I think it was just maybe, I think we talked about this before in other episodes. The manly thing is just to like, yo, just get over it, move on, and just take a L, or I have that kind of personality because I'm not confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think over the years, and we've been married for 13 years, it is a growing process.
Right.
Right. It's not overnight. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like I learned this, I learned this yesterday, but it was through years of practice and communicating and talking, and we still learning, right? I'm still figuring it out and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like what Sable said in terms of like acknowledge that people do change, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as people are changing, you're not I guess the focus is not on you trying to change them, but it's more on less than that. The focus should be more on the natural progression of life, right? Where, jobs change us, life's experiences change us, but it's the wholeness is not on, or the old, the onus is not on my spouse trying to change me to making me what they feel like they need.
Yeah.
But it should be more on just a natural progression of life, which naturally happens.
But I think the core of a person doesn't change. Like, who that person is who that person is, right? If people showing you who they are, believe them. Like, I think their core is who they are. Like, I think for me, you'll hear this at like funerals, or when people talk about other individuals, they'll be like, yo, he always did this, right? Or he was always this, or she was always that. Like, so I think the person's core remains the same, but I do think that we grow in ways where either we become better versions of who we are, or worse versions of who we are. And so we're always, I guess, developing, is that the word? Or morphing, but really completely being a totally different person. I think you are who you are before you got here. You could change who you are, but that's just the top layer. Man, you was who you was before you got here. That's in the words of Jay-Z, Sean Carter. But I think the core, your core is who you are. You've always been that, right? I know that about you. But did you grow? Did you develop? Did new things come into your life? Absolutely. But you are still who you was when I married you in 2008.
Essentially.
And when I met you in 2011?
How could you meet me in 2011?
Well, I meet you every day.
Okay.
When
you trying to fix it.
when the sun shines upon your beautiful face.
Okay, but yeah, I definitely agree with you. Sable did clarify. She said, I guess when I say people change, I mean, as I change, I need to communicate my change.
Yeah.
And that sometimes can be...
I'm not disagreeing with you, say.
No, she knows. I was just saying, when I mentioned it, we talked, but she's just like, for clarification purposes.
Do your clarification.
But I guess sometimes it's hard to communicate those changes, right?
Yeah.
Because you yourself don't even... Speak to me.
Speak you. Speak your truth. Speak your truth.
Speak, girl. What's wrong with you? I feel like, for me, sometimes it's hard for me to communicate or even find words at times. Not all the time, but at times, to figure out what that change is, right? I see it's happening. I see the evolving happening, but I don't really necessarily have words to describe. And I feel like that's what it was. During that period of our marriage, that month, like, I knew I was evolving, right? I was doing this evolving thing, but I did not have the right words to say, yo, this is exactly what it is that is happening to me. And I made it more about him than I did about me, right? I should have just said, you know what? Let me just sit quiet. Let me just not talk. Let me just kind of keep figuring out what's happening to me. But instead, I kind of pointed the finger and was just like, this, and this, and it wasn't fair to him. So I think that sometimes it's hard to communicate what exactly it is that's happening. Especially now, I feel like in my 40s, as I'm in this real great coming to light, awakening of sorts. Sometimes it's really hard to figure out or find the words, because it's like a new this is something I haven't necessarily experienced before.
You like a butterfly coming out the cocoon.
Exactly. And so as I'm morphing, it's almost like, I guess it's really important at that point in time that I should have probably kept my mouth shut. But again, at my core, I am very communicative. Like, I feel like I have to get it out.
Yeah, and
but it is sorry.
Sorry, do
but
your thing.
As
Speak your truth. Speak your
okay,
truth.
Jay. But as I'm getting it out, in hindsight, I wish I was probably a little bit more. I wish I chose my words better. Like I had better words to express, but I feel that in me communicating it to him, it helped me to kind of find my way and thankfully apologize for that, for what I said.
But I see it like this too, right? So while you were speaking your truth and you were going through this evolution and you were becoming and having these new thoughts, I go back to the butterfly in the cocoon, right? And so there's always this there's this illustration where it talks about this kid who sees the butterfly in the cocoon, and the kid sees the butterfly struggling to get out. And so what the kid does is he kind of like opens up the cocoon thinking that he's helping the butterfly to get out. Unfortunately, by him doing that, the butterfly did not fully develop and it wasn't able to fly the way that it needed to. So while you were going through your metamorphosis, my job was just to sit back and to let you develop. So not to try to, I guess, in a way, like try to say, argue with you,
right,
or defend myself or disagree with you. But, gently I would I think I would be like, no, things like that. But I always knew in my mind, because I know your core, I know who you are, and I know that you're communicative, that I just had to let you let you come out your cocoon, right? And I think that by me just kind of just letting you go through that metamorphosis and being, I guess, mature enough to be able to handle what you were saying and to not react the way maybe you wanted me to react, but react the way that I needed to just let you do your thing. That right now, you're still evolving, but at least you're flying, right? You're in a much better place than you were before. So I think that's important too, right? How do we handle our significant others' evolutions, right? Or their growth process, but at the same time be, I guess, close enough but far enough to let them grow and to just support them and to hear and to like my main thing during that session, during that time was just to listen, right? And just try to see, okay, what are ways that I can meet you with what you're saying, but then also to be honest, be like, I can't do that. Like, no, like what you saying is what you're saying, what it is, but I'm sorry, I can't meet you there. So I think also too, it's like important to know how to support our significant others when they go through various milestones, when they meet various challenges in their lives, and how do we support, be near, but at the same time, maybe a far off isn't the right word, but to be near, but to also,
be supportive.
Be supportive and step aside, because that's all important as well. Because I'm gonna go through a metamorphosis probably soon or something like that. Everybody goes through milestones and patterns and changes in their lives as they reach like various ages.
Yeah, but I think one of the things that I'm grateful for is that you've always given me the space to be able to do that, right? Where I don't approach those hard conversations in fear of, oh man, one, is he going to try to fix it? Two, is he going to be so resistant to whatever it is that I'm saying that it cause even more issues in our marriage, right? So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for you that I'm comfortable enough to be able to come to you. You create that openness, you create that supportive space, right? For me to be able to basically,
I don't want to sit me yawning.
Basically to speak, just talk.
Right.
That's one. Two, I think your response was golden, right? You could have easily shut down or did something else or
Like,
said
go
something
so
else.
woman. Who you talking to like that? Never talk to me like that, right? I could have did that.
First of all, I didn't talk to you like anyway. So you need to fix that.
Right. Don't, woman. What you said? Don't you ever come at me like that. You better make an appointment if you want to talk to me like that. What if I did that?
If you did that, we probably would not be sitting here on this couch talking.
Oh snap!
I ain't
Horns.
playing that. But anyway, I'm not playing that in terms of like he already knows. Like it's nothing but respect, right?
Mad
Both ways,
respect.
both ways. But
Enough
I love.
respect. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I what I also loved is, as I was saying, your response. Like Jamie is like, yo, he's just like, I bet. Or he would like literally just share his heart of hearts to me and let me know exactly what it was he was thinking, what he was, where his mind was. And that was also helpful for me, right?
Mm.
Opposed to you being super cold or like, yo, whatever, I don't care, I'm just gonna, or completely shut down. He literally shared his heart with me and shared his thoughts in terms of what it was I was saying. So it was just really amazing that in what seemed or could have been something that could have not ended well because I think marrying someone that you know that you could come and talk to like that, right? Come to and talk about any and everything that's on
Yeah.
your mind. Having that space, creating that space, that openness to feel safe and to feel comfortable.
And I think you have to know who you married, right? Like, I think you know me
Right.
that enough to know that you can talk to me and that you're not afraid of me,
Right.
right? And I think like that's important. Like, are you afraid to talk to your spouse? And if you are afraid to talk to your spouse, probably you were afraid to talk to them while you were dating. Probably, right? I don't know. Maybe things could have changed. But you have to be able to not be in fear of the person that you're marrying. And you have to know the person. And when you know the person that you're marrying, you'll know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
Right? You'll know what to say, you'll know how to say it, you'll know when to say it, and things like that. So I think you know me, and I think you know me enough that you can talk to me about
Yes.
what's on your heart and what's on your mind,
Very
because
true.
the core of who I am is still the same from
Very true.
jump, right? It's
Very
like,
true.
I mean, yo, you can talk to me. That I'm not gonna be one of those rah 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 blah
Or
blah
even
blah.
trying to fix it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Like going back to, talk about the courtyard with the girls and with COVID.
Right.
I'm like, they don't got COVID. They all right.
Right.
Like, I ain't trying to. We'll fix it when they start bleeding and start,
Yeah.
you know.
And I think I'm more of the fixer. Like
Right.
if he comes to me and start talking or whatever, I'm like, let's try to fix it. How can we fix it? How can I fix it? Okay, I'm
Right.
more the fixer.
And I'm just like,
He's more like,
chill.
yo, whatever. Like let's go through the process of this thing. So knowing that really helps, and accepting that about your spouse, accepting who your spouse is, who they are at their core is essential, I believe, and really gives you space and room to grow into that. Like we were talking on the live about how sometimes we don't go into our marriages accepting the full person, the person that we married. Like we try so much to fix them and turn them into what it is that we want.
Right.
And unfortunately, the more we try to fix them, the more we try to make them into what it is that we want, we realize the resistance and we realize that they're not even changing.
Right.
Right. And they get upset, they get frustrated, you start arguing, you start going through those challenges because the person is like, yo, I don't know who it is you want me to be, but I'm not that.
Right. Your significant other is not your project. It's not your homework. It's not your assignment. Right. So.
Wow.
And you know who, if people have shown you who they are, just believe them, right? Don't think that they're going to become what you want them to be, or in your mind or with this imagination. They are who they are,
Yeah.
and they're enough. I think
Yeah.
that's like the core of what we were talking about, right? That everybody is enough. People become less than enough when they believe the lies that or expectations that other people put on them, and they
Yeah.
think that they have to live up to that, or I should
Yeah.
say live down to that. But you're enough, and you have to accept the fact that you are enough, and that you are not a project. The only person that's still working on you
Is
is
God.
God.
Yeah. And when
The-
God works on you, that's when the conviction comes. That's when the true change happens. But once we try to work on other people, the same way God intended for Him to work on other people, it really goes awry.
Yeah, and then like if you are somebody's project, to that person you'll never be enough. They're always going to tweak something about you because maybe they're not enough. So they're trying to overcompensate on you
Yeah.
so that you can fill something, that the void that keeps getting bigger and bigger in their life. So
Yeah.
like you'll never be satisfied. So if you know that person is not enough for you, or you're not compatible or whatever, just end it, man. Just end it.
Well, end it as in terms of, I want you to be careful. You talking about dating, or are you
Yeah,
talking
and
about
dating,
marriage?
and
Okay.
dating,
And
and
dating,
dating,
because
in
marriage
marriage.
becomes a little bit more complicated,
But
right?
in marriage, I think Sable said it. Yo, don't be afraid to seek counseling. And like in marriage, you married that person. You married that person. You made a covenant, a commitment. And I know sometimes it doesn't work out. And I know sometimes in abusive situations, there is no way that I will ever counsel anyone to stay within that, verbally or physically. But in other situations, you know, sometimes I think when that communication breaks down, it creates that wedge and that divide. And maybe there is hope to save it, and maybe there's not. But I think the reality that we both people just have to come to is just defining their relationship, right? Defining where they are and who they are and their expectations, and being able to just continue and to take the journey together.
Yeah.
But I think life happens, right? And
Life does happen.
life happens, and unfortunately some people don't make it through the tough times.
Yeah, you right about that.
That's right.
You're right about that.
Be you, the world will adjust.
Indeed. She asks a question. He says, "So how serious should you consider a person's nonverbal communication and mannerisms when thinking about the future?"
Absolutely, you should definitely consider that very seriously, because look, the thing about nonverbal communication when you're dating, it's almost tolerable, right? Because you're not married, you're just dating. So when you're dating, there's always that possibility, or I would say when you're dating, and maybe in a guy's mind or in my mind, there's always that possibility that we could break up. When you get married and those same nonverbal communications are still there, if nonverbal communications annoyed you while you were dating, they
It's
are
gonna
going to
annoy
frustrate the mess out of
even
you
more.
when you get married.
Right.
So if nonverbal communication is something that bothers you while you are dating that person, wait till you get married.
Yeah.
It's going to be next level. So that's something you need to define, to be like, yo, let's have a conversation about this, right? Like these nonverbal communications, that these vibes, YKTV, you got to know the vibes, right? That I'm picking up, that I'm feeling. So let's talk about this, because things get amplified when you get married.
Because there's no escape.
Right.
Right? Before, when you're dating, you'd be like, yo, I see you tomorrow, or I see you in the next 2 days.
That's right. Or we could break up, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, but
Yeah.
we could break up.
Right. But the feeling of like you can't go anywhere, for real. Like you can't run anywhere per se and stay away for long periods of time. So nipping that in the bud, as Jamie said, is key. Like making sure that you talk about it. And even while you're talking about it, there's a part of you that's going to have to say, this is this person. This is how this person is. Am I willing to accept this about this person? Because again, it goes back to that. When we see those things, when we see those flags, right? We often say, okay, I think I can live with that a little bit. As Jamie said, like those red flags turn green, right? Because we're kind of so enamored with the person and so happy or whatever. But we sometimes become blinded, and then when we get into marriage and there's like a heated conversation happening, and they are saying with their mouth something else, and their body language is just like, like I was good.
They
Man,
got that
Carly.
they when you talking, they got that Kerry Washington face. That you like, well, how
Why
do
is
I
that so accurate?
like? What do
Oh
I
my
do with
gosh,
that? Like,
that
do
is
I?
so accurate. That face is so
Do
accurate.
you like what I'm saying right now? Are you
Yeah,
enjoying it? Yeah.
but it's important for you to ask yourself, can I accept this about this person? Can I live with it every single day? Can I see me having to deal with this person, with the way that this person is communicating to me?
Yeah.
That is real talk where
That's
it
right.
is
Am I willing to love this for the rest of my
for the
life?
rest of your life, son.
Yeah.
He also asked, when is it less of being enough and more settling or no effort?
So I think this kind of is like my car illustration, right? So Carlene and I were shopping for cars, and we were looking at various cars. And there were some cars that we liked, and there were some cars that we did not like. Um, all of those cars were enough, right? All those cars had four wheels, they had four doors, they had a steering wheel, they had a dashboard,
An engine.
an engine. Some were nicer than others,
Right.
but they were enough, right? There were cars that we went to that we did not like. Now, because we did not like that car and we didn't want to buy it, it didn't mean that that car wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough for us. It wasn't compatible for us in what we wanted. And that we kept on shopping until we found the car that we were comfortable with, that we could manage, that can do the job, and it had all those things. So just because that other car didn't have all the bells and whistles and it wasn't as nice as the other one, just because it wasn't enough for us didn't mean that the car was less than anything, right? Like we didn't walk away from the car saying, "Oh man, car, you not enough. You don't got
Right.
no trunk. You don't got this. No, you just look at you car."
Right.
No, that car was enough. It's on the lot. It just didn't fit. So I think sometimes we have to know exactly what we're looking for and what we like and what we know. And just because somebody isn't compatible or what we're looking for doesn't mean that that's our job to diminish that person or to think that they're not enough. They are enough. And so I don't think it's important for us to, I don't think the word is settling, right? I think the word is just saying that right now, this person or this situation is enough for me, right? And that person that I'm with, they may not have, Mercedes Benz had
The bells and whistles.
bells and whistles. I mean, the Mercedes was so nice. The BMW had the the GPS in the dashboard, and when you started, you said that purr. I mean, it was beautiful. But we got a Volkswagen, right? We got a Volkswagen Passat. It ain't luxury, but it's nice.
It's luxury.
That's right.
For us.
For us.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's the thing. Like, just because your idea of your definition of luxury is completely different than my definition of luxury.
Right.
Right? Your enoughness, that Honda is luxury for that person. That means it's enough for that person.
Right.
That Benz is luxury for this person. So I feel like our Passat is luxury for us. It's enough, right?
Right. And so now people are not cars, right? Humans are different from cars. But I think in relationships, right? Whomever you're dating and whomever you're with, that person, if you're with that person, you have to know whether or not they are compatible with you.
Mm-hmm. If they're a good match.
And are they a good match? And are you willing to be committed to being with who that person is? Right? So we made a commitment to be with this Volkswagen, right? To be with it, to use it. And I think we leased it for 3 years. It's going to be with us. We decided that this is what we were going to want. We weren't going to spend more money and get something else, but we made this decision. So I think with my relationship with Carlene, I know who she is and I know her for years, but I always made a commitment that I'm going to love who she is. I'm going to love her and I'm going to be committed to that. And every day I'm going to wake up and make that choice over and over and over. I did not settle because I knew that if I settled for anything less, I would not be happy. When I settle, that's like charity, right? So I'm not doing a charitable service by settling for something or someone that that I'm not happy with, that I'm not comfortable with, that I'm committed to being with that person. So I don't think we should ever be in the business of settling. I think everybody is built the way they are built and they are enough, but it's more about, am I compatible with that person?
Yeah.
Am I willing to love, this? And there's always going to be something else out there. There's always going to be something else that will catch your eye. But the main thing is like, I'm committed to this. I'm committed to her. I'm committed to him. And we're going to ride this out as long until death do us part.
Yeah. And as I was saying on our live, just because someone isn't a match for you doesn't mean that you have to stop making them feel like they aren't enough.
Right.
Right.
Facts.
You don't go to the Mercedes Benz and say, because you didn't match me, you are not enough.
Stupid Benz.
You stupid Benz, you with your nice wheels and your nice whatever it is that you have, right? You just accept it, be like, yo, it's cool.
It didn't work out. And then you bitter, and then some new owner gonna come and buy the Benz and be very happy with it, and the Benz is gonna be okay while you out there still taking the bus.
Exactly. So it's really important for you to accept that person is just not matched for you, and it doesn't mean that they're not enough. It just means that they're just not a good match. And it
Yeah. I said,
and then if it is a good match, you still have to accept that person or that car is enough for you, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yes, you're going to see a Benz drive by or a BMW drive by, and you're gonna be like,
dang.
like what? Oh man, that could have been me, but it's not. It's
Right.
not you.
Right. And
And
then,
be okay.
And then the moment you start dissing your car is because that's when you felt like you settled. Right? Because that's when you be like, man, I went and got this piece of junk.
Yeah, because the moment you start looking is the moment you start devaluing what it is, what you have.
Right, because the Volkswagen was good till you saw the BMW drive by, and then you like, stupid Volkswagen. You settled, right? Because you probably didn't want a Volkswagen in the first place. You wanted a BMW.
Mercy Jesus.
But you got Volkswagen dollars.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, like if we were to compare it to people, relationships, like if you see the Maybach, as Chi said, if you see that Maybach while you driving your Benz, right? That if you see that person that you think you probably would have been happier with, you would have been, I don't know, better with, you weren't a match, right? You weren't a match, and accepting that wasn't a good match. So what you have right now is enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's enough because here it is, right? You see Mama Maybach, right?
Maybach.
You see Mama Maybach.
Oh gosh.
And you got your Honda, and you be like, yo, I'm gonna go get with Mama Maybach and leave the Honda back, right? Mama Maybach take expensive gas. She needs high maintenance and all that stuff, and now you out of your league because why? You got caught up in Mama Maybach, and she was outside. She was outside of what you could afford. And I think sometimes we see the glitz and glamour, right? And then good old Honda is just sitting there and like, yo, I knew you'd be back because you could not handle Mama Maybach,
Mercy Jesus.
right? So, there's always going to be a nicer car, right?
A nicer phone,
Nicer phone,
computer, a nicer everything.
nicer everything. And there's always going to be other handsome men and other beautiful women, right? I got to sit down every time we see a movie or a show with the black man from Queen Sugar, right? Every time
What's his name? Kofi?
I don't even know his name.
His name is Kofi.
Time,
y'all, what's that brother's name?
Every time I see this Negro on TV, I got to hear Carlene say, oh.
No, I do not make those noises.
What do you say?
I do not make those noises.
Say, man.
No, I do not even say anything. All I do is just stare. You lying. I don't be like,
let me tell y'all something.
Look at that
Let me tell y'all something. When he comes on TV, Carlene's body, her reaction changes. And I got to sit there and watch this whole movie with this Negro who is eye candy to my wife.
Yo, what's his name, y'all? Kofi.
We don't care.
Kofi something.
We don't care. We don't care.
We do.
We don't care.
Because you're enough. So you don't have to. You can say, I care.
It's Sabbath. I don't want to bring his name up. It's secular.
Why you bringing him in this conversation, first of all?
But I'm just saying is that I have to so Barack Obama, right?
Mercy Jesus.
I have to accept the fact that man got swagger.
Yo, that brother smooth. You hear me?
Swagger.
But he's not as smooth as you. He'll never be as smooth as you.
That's right. So there's always going to be handsome men or whatever, but I know
you just talked about
confident.
Kofi, though. You just talked about Kofi.
Let me say this. I'm confident.
Brother.
I'm confident.
Not like you.
I'm confident in that Carlene's love for me is greater than it can ever be for Kofi or any other person on TV.
Amen.
What I'm saying is that there's always going to be, like J. Cole has that song, Love Yours. And J. Cole in that song is like, yo, there's always going to be a ride that's better than yours. There's always going to be a house that's bigger than yours.
Yep.
But he said, as long as those people in that house love you, that's more important than anything else. So he says, love yours. And so I think that's an important message for all of us. Love yours.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be something bigger, brighter, and better.
True.
But as long as you love who you're with and you love what you have, you'll always be content. Because while you're looking at your neighbor's grass, your neighbor is looking at their neighbor's grass. And 9 times out of 10, it might be artificial turf. So love yours.
Artificial turf burns.
It burns. So love yours. Love it. Love it. Love it. And as long as it loves you back, you'll be straight.
Yeah. And I think in you loving it, loving yours, loving your spouse, loving your husband, loving your wife, that you truly accept them. I think that's what it is. I think everyone wants to be accepted. Everyone wants to feel that I am accepted. And what better place to feel accepted than in your marriage?
That's right.
What other space?
Yeah.
Real talk. I mean, I know we have friends and I know we have parents, but there's no better place to feel that you can show up
and be yourself.
And when no one's looking.
That's right. And be loved.
And be loved. I believe everyone deserves that. Every human being on this earth deserves that. When we think about Jesus and how he accepts us just as we are, right? We can pattern that full acceptance that Jesus gives us, that God gives us, to our marriage. Where when I see Jamie, is he perfect? Absolutely not.
I am.
You're not. Even in you saying that you're perfect, that's imperfect right there. But anyway, is he is he whatever? Probably not, right? But he's enough for me. I know that he's enough for me, and I've learned let me say that I've learned to accept everything, and for me not to focus so much of my energy and my time trying to fix him, trying to fix certain parts about him that I feel like if that's fixed, it'll make me feel better.
Yeah.
No, it actually doesn't, because what keeps what keeps coming up is who he is, right? That he's very consistent with that. Like, just like I'm very consistent with that. I'm sure there are things that he knows about me that he sees and he's just like, oh, that part right there, Lord have mercy. But he accepts me. I accept him. And that's something that we're hoping that, through these channels that we're able to help couples like ourselves, especially younger couples, because I wasn't always accepting of everything per se, right? Do you think you were accepting of everything of me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
I accepted you.
All of me. Like the part,
All
no, no,
of
no, no, no.
me
Like
loves
Jamie,
all of you.
Jamie. No, the other parts, like the parts that were not so nice. You feel like those were parts that you accepted, or were you just like, Lord, please, I ask that you fix this? Or were you just like, yeah, I accept it?
I think so. I don't
Yeah.
know. I would have to sit down and think. There was nothing. I think you mean like I think maybe just some of the traditions that you grew up with. You know, like I had to adjust to those things, like
Mm-hmm.
not leaving the dish in the sink at night
Yes,
or
Jesus.
making up the bed
Mm-hmm.
every morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that. But those were never deal breakers for me.
Well, acceptance of things that are flaws don't necessarily have to be deal breakers, but they can just be things that you're just like, I wonder if this will ever change.
I have to think about it.
Yeah.
I can't be on the spot right here and come up with something, but I'm sure there is something, but I have to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think.
So I just want to say, like what you were saying, that I love that meme that's on Instagram, that reel that's Instagram, where it's like, you ever look at the person you married and you ever say, wow, what a beautiful, and they show the person probably at their worst.
Yeah.
I think that is such a beautiful meme because that's marriage, right? It's loving people, loving your spouse even when they're at their worst. So yo, listen to "Love Yours" by J. Cole. Yes, I will always plead the
Oh
fifth.
gosh. Yeah, he
Yes.
will. He will.
But no, but in this case, I'm really not pleading the fifth. I just
Yeah.
don't know.
That's
Maybe because I'm tired. I'll be like,
yeah.
and when I'm tired, my brain be shut down.
Yeah, I think it's on the spot for him. But accept yours. Know that your spouse, whomever it is that you are dating, if it's the Lord, well, sometimes when you're dating that person, they're enough, but they're not a match.
Right.
But you just have to, what do you do? Walk away?
You have to DTR to find that relationship. Because maybe they could be a match, but maybe they just don't know. You just had to talk. Just talk. And then after you define the relationship, then you'll know. I think both of you, as you're talking, you're probably going to be like, you know what? It's probably best if we just chuck the deuces.
Yeah. Yo, relationships are so challenging.
They are because it's two humans trying to bring two separate walks of life together.
But I know that when you get married, it becomes a little better
It
in
becomes
terms of like, it takes a lot of the guesswork out,
yeah.
right? And you're more committed to, I don't know, the commitment level increases as you're really trying to make it work.
Yeah. Marriage works, but you have to work at it.
Yeah, you do. But we hope that the experience that we shared with you guys is one that will be used as a means of knowing that marriage it takes lots of work, but accepting true acceptance of your spouse, and understanding and learning how to really effectively communicate And if those things are those, you don't necessarily have those tools that you need in order to be an effective communicator, or even to be to accept your spouse the way that they are, then definitely seek counseling, because it's worth it on the other side. I'm sure it will be worth it. But here we are, and Jamie's going to end our talk.
With have a wonderful evening.
You're not gonna rap?
No, I'm tired.
Oh my gosh, he must be really tired
Yeah, I'm sleepy.
for him not to rap.
Yeah, I'm shutting down.
You shutting down, but then you get mad hyped as soon as we close down the
I know.
the
I
computer.
got spurts of energy, but
Yeah.
I'm shut down.
Uh-oh.
I love y'all people. I'm gonna be in the lab. I'm gonna work on the dope hot bars
lying.
for y'all.
He's lying. I thank God for premarital counseling. Really helped us to understand a deeper level of ourselves and how to communicate facts.
All right, I'll kick a quick freestyle because Dorian asked.
Aww.
All right, can you play the horns? Can you do the applause, please?
Okay. I'm coming.
Horns.
Oh, sorry.
I don't want to rap no more. Yo, come to Texas, Byron.
Okay, ready? Horns? Horns?
No.
Oh, not that. Oh man, where's the horns? Oh, there we go. All right, let me do it for real. I'ma hype you up. I'ma hype you up. I'ma hype you up.
You know that question you asked me earlier about is it gonna change?
What's gonna change?
Is there anything that when we first got married? I think I just got the answer.
What is it? Tell me. Tell me.
I think I just got the answer.
All right, applause. You up? I don't need to hype.
I don't need no hype. I'm twice as nice.
Okay.
When I come through, I come with the light. Even though you try to take me out, I'm still bright. Understand this. It looks and it may hurt, but I'm going to tell everybody that marriage really works.
Yeah.
But you got to work at it. Don't be a jerk at it.
Right.
Don't even be berserk with it, but understand that you can't even twerk on it. But you got to be real with it and perk up with it.
Yeah.
Understand that you were birthed with it.
Yeah.
The tools that you need in order to make it work, kid. Understand we've been doing this 13 years and we don't have no fear. We trying to go for 50 years and beyond that because it's all that. I tell all my friends, get married, black, and understand black love is a struggle. But understand we work it like a muscle. We get stronger every day. We even find times that we could play. Listen to what I say. Understand this. I'm not here to delay, but I'm going to give it to you this type of way. Marriage is the tool, it's the essence of who we are. We're going to shine bright like we are a shooting star. We come in this together. We made a commitment. Understand this. I meant this when I said it. It's not just a contract, but this is a covenant. Made before God. I'm going hard up in the paint. I ain't even going to act like I'm a saint. I be making mistakes, but never delay. I stay on the path, which is the right way. I make a choice every day to love my wife. I see other cars, I see other women. I say they are nice, but they not my wife. I keep a picture on my phone, her face in my dome. Every time I leave from home, I feel alone. Want to bring her with me. Everything that we do, God bless me in the way. You want to know how? You want to know why? He let us be fruitful and multiply. We got 2 daughters. We gonna go harder. I like to know that they call me their father. I'm trying to be a dad, not do the bad. But understand that this rap is rad. Now I gotta go, people, because I'm getting kind of tired. Got to go in the bed and retire. The bars is flowing. I got that fire. You should all call me the rap sire because how I go higher than before. I gotta go outside to the store so I can pick up some more. to Nelly's and celebrate with my wife and watch the television. Understand we not missing. We are hitting and these bars are spitting. And everybody knows how it goes. I got to go because I'm like a G.I. Joe. And the more you know is the more you will show. Yo, the more you know is the more you will show. Yo, the more you know is the more you will show. Peace out, I'm out. I know you like the flow.
Bars. Horns. That was pretty good.
True.
Look at you. You need to be tired more often so you can like spit like that.
No,
That was really good.
that was one of my slow raps. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I like that. I liked your flow.
True.
Okay, I think I can rock with it.
Every time I pop out, I pop off.
You finish?
Yeah. Yo, we love y'all. Thank you for rocking with us once again for an hour and 45. It seems like this is what we do. We have to condense the show. We have to condense it. We got to start condensing the show. This could be like 3 shows.
Do you accept me?
You are enough.
Do you accept the fact that this show took this time?
Yeah, because all of me loves all of you. Love your curves. I give you all. See, I love you. All of me loves all of you.
But why do you have to do that? Like
Because
you don't know the words.
John Legend sings.
He does not sing like that.
He has an interesting voice.
He has a very nice voice.
It's not better than mine though, but I'll leave it at that.
Jamie, for real? That's not being very humble.
Why be humble when you know who you are? You're confident.
Jesus.
As Gerald said, she
said no. She said no. She said no.
She said it is.
She says no.
What it is.
No, she says no, like don't sing it.
It is what it is.
I feel like you should get the words first. And then you should sing it. You can sing it any kind of way, but just sing the words because the words really matter in that song.
It just says, all of me loves all of you. Love your curves, blah, 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 blah. Love all of you.
No, it's not blah, blah, blah. Love your curves and all your edges. Something.
And all your hedges.
Not your hedges.
You don't say that?
He doesn't say your hedges.
You doesn't say, I want to cut your hedges?
What?
That's what? Edges? You got to cut the hedges? That's how you get to the edges?
It's love your curves and all your
edges.
It's not edges.
Because the curves, and so you want to make sure the curve is smooth.
What is it? All of me lyrics. It's the Sabbath. The Sabbath has ended on some parts.
Yeah.
It's
look.
All of me loves all of you.
Love your
curves and all your edges.
Oh, I was saying
all your perfect imperfections.
I was saying it like a Jamaican. Hedges.
I'll give my all to you. No, that's not how I go.
All right. The
sorry,
show
you
just got
started
extended 10 minutes.
I know, you just, I'm sorry,
All right,
guys.
we out.
I'm sorry, guys. We out. We mad blurry, but
Peace.
We out.
Enjoy the music.
3, 2, 1.